Sunday, October 23rd, 2022, the 30th Sunday in Ordinary Time. The parable in today's Gospel is directed to Christians of all times. The idea of meriting before God is profoundly rooted in our minds. No one is completely immune to this leaven, which pollutes and corrupts the life of the community. At the outset, we dislike the hypocritical, disagreeable, proud, and presumptuous Pharisee. Our sympathies are all for the publican, who, poor guy, did something wrong, but still has a golden heart. Yet, if we reread the Pharisee's prayer without prejudice, we realize that we are faced with an upright and honest person of integrity. He does even more than what is prescribed in the law. He is proud of his righteousness, contrasts himself with other persons, and distances himself from sinners. Sure, he is a nuisance, but he has no serious faults. Let us willingly forgive a little bit of his pride. In contrast to the Pharisee, the publican initially attracts our sympathies for his humility. However, he is a certified thief, a hated exploiter, a jackal. He is loaded with sins. The law stipulates how this tax collector can be saved. He must give back all that he has stolen, plus 20% interest, and must immediately abandon his infamous profession. He is irredeemable. How can Jesus then condemn a person who has behaved well and justify a sinner? The truth is that the judgment is not about the moral behavior of the two. Jesus does not say that the publican is good and that the Pharisee is bad. He does not say that one is fundamentally virtuous while the other is a sinner who managed to hide his sins. He only says that the first was justified, that is, was made just by God. The second returned home as before with all his undeniable good works, but without saying that God was able to make him just. This is the point. What is the Pharisee's error? He puts himself before God in a wrong way. He goes to the temple carrying with him a load of good works accumulated with rigorous penance and scrupulous observance of all the commandments. He is convinced that this is sufficient to merit him righteousness. As if he would say to the Lord, "Look what a marvelous life I am living. I am sure that I astonished you. You did not expect to have such a faithful worshiper. Now, declare that I am just." Before God, everyone finds themselves empty-handed. They have nothing of themselves to show. They have nothing that makes them worthy of divine assurance. The publican is not a model of a virtuous life. He is a poor man who knows he can offer to God only his broken and torn down heart. He does not even attempt to present an illusion of good acts, for he has none. He is empty-handed. The Pharisee, and anyone for that matter, must not renounce his blameless life, but rather must renounce the false image of God as an accountant who takes note of the good and the bad works of people, a distributor of prizes and punishments. From this deformed image of God, other troubles come. Foremost is the creation of a dividing barrier between the righteous and the sinner. As the name Pharisee means separated, the Pharisee inherently likes to stand separated. Whoever thinks of accumulating merits before God inevitably ends up despising others. They do not want to have anything to do with the wicked, They are convinced of being able to involve God in this separation. They would like to enlist God in their group, in their righteous club. They would like to make God a Pharisee. God does not fit here. If God has to choose, God will side with the sinner.